Hello YouTube. So today I'm going to talk about the Zodiac signs and Ruby Gillman's characters. Now, I'm going to start with Aries first because Aries is the first sign of the Zodiac. So, with that being said, let me get started. Now, there's two characters who I think belongs to the Aries Zodiac sign, and that is Sam Gillman and Grandmama. Now, let me start with Sam Gillman first. The reason why I think he's Aries is because of how rowdy and rough he is with his personality. He's also very energetic, he's a fire sign, so fire signs are very energetic. He's a fighter, he's always talking about like battling and fighting and stuff like that.
He's a legend.
I'm taking dodgeball to a whole new level. I'm a legend.
Plus he loves dodgeball, so that says something. Aries, they're I wouldn't necessarily say like they like to fight, but they tend to be fighters of the zodiac sign because they're ruled by Mars, and Mars is all about in Greek mythology, Mars represents the god of war, and plus he's always like fighting with his sister. They also known to be bullies, like not that they like to be bullies, but sometimes like they like to play around, and kind of like in a mean way. That when he's like antagonizing his sister Ruby, like they tend to like kind of like antagonize her a lot, and throughout the film. So, that's another reason why I think he's an Aries. Is Grandmama, like, the reason why I think she's an Aries, because it's, quite obvious. She's always, talk about fighting and war, and like I said, like, Aries is the god of war, and in her case, she's the goddess of war. She's always want to fight, even like, her daughter Agatha mentioned that like that's all she wants to do is fight, but that's not nearly the case. She's obviously just trying to protect the seven seas from monsters, especially mermaids. It's in her nature, because she's an Aries, so she has that energy, that fighting energy. Same with Sam. They both have that fighting energy, and that's why towards the end of that battle scene, Sam was talking about her mother, how if she ever, fought at Hydra, or, asking her about like war stories, and Grandmama said I'm gonna like you.
Do your tentacles ooze poison? Have you ever wrestled a Hydra? Better yet, have you ever played dodgeball?
Oh, I am gonna like you.
Indicating that, they both have like a lot in common. So that's why I think they're both in Aries. Now, let me get to Taurus. I think Arthur is a Taurus. The reason why I think that, because every time I see him, like almost throughout the entire film, he's always with food. Like every single scene I've seen him, he's surrounded by food. And Taurus are known to be the biggest foodies of the zodiac sign. They love their food. I don't know what is about them with food, but that's like their fix. And they're also known to be like big homebodies too. Like he's hardly like out, except for when Agatha made him like in Hunt. That's the only time he rooted him out. But for the most part, he's always like indoors. And they're also known to be very supportive. Taurus are very supportive signs. Tauruses are very supportive of their friends and family. So in this case, like with Agatha, he's very supportive of her, always giving her like advices. Next, I got Gemini. Now, I think Captain Gordon Lighthouse is a Gemini, because the reason why I think that is because he's always mostly like on social media, and Geminis like to be in social media. They like to interact with people. They like to talk, and in his case, he's always talking about Kraken and trying to get people to believe his theories on Krakens and stuff like that. And he's always around people. Geminis are very social people too, That's why they like to be on social media, because they like, as I was saying, like they like to interact with people. But also, like, they tend to have like a different side to them. Like for his case, like at first you see him like very sadistic, and kind of violent. But then you see him have a different side towards like the third act of the movie. You see him kind of like beg for mercy from Arthur. Like he really shows like a coward. I'm not saying that Geminis are a coward, but like I'm just saying like he has like different sides to his personality. Like they show his a sadistic side, but on another side he's really just a coward, fearing Krakens. He doesn't want to be harmed by them at all. He seems completely negative of them. So that's why I think he's a Gemini, because his for interaction and socializing with people. So, they're known to be, very witty. They like to talk about, a variety of topics. As I mentioned, like, he's always, his main topic is Krakens. He's really obsessed with them. Next, I got Cancer. Now, it's very obvious that Agatha is a Cancer. She's very loving and very protecting. She goes out of her way to protect Ruby and the family from sea monsters, bring it to, land, stay away from the ocean, and trying to get Ruby out of the ocean throughout the entire film, and, as she said, like, during the third act of the movie, like, she said, like she would never stop fighting for his family, and that's definitely a Cancer trait. They'll do anything for their family. Even if it means for like fighting and do what it takes to protect them. But another reason why I say she's a Cancer is because the Cancers are known to kind of like hide in their shell, as a way to protect themselves, but to protect others as well. And you see that throughout the entire film. She like I said, she stays in dry land to kind of hide her identity as well, because she don't want no one to know that she's a Kraken, because, people from dry land see them as monsters, while in the sea, she's trying to stay away from the monsters. So she kind of hides in this shell, and Cancer is known to kind of like do that to kind of like protect themselves. They never keep things hidden, and that's why Cancers are such homebodies. They tend to be kind of like introverted as well. As a way to kind of like protect themselves. They're very private signs. They're pretty shy too. Next is Leo, and now Chelsea, aka Narissa. Now she actually represents all the negative traits from Leo. They're very self-centered. They like to be the center of attention at all times. Even if it means trying to gain power to try to roll over and have everyone bound down to them. Yeah, that definitely sounds like all the negative traits of Leo. Manipulative sometimes, and kind of two-faced. That's another negative trait of them. So like sometimes they try to pretend to be your friend in order to gain something from you. Signs of manipulation, and they could be kind of like almost a bit controlling sometimes too. And that's pretty much it. So next is Virgo. Now, the only person I could think is a Virgo in this movie will be the librarian. And honestly, I don't really have like a really legit reason as to why I think she's a Virgo. Only the reason why I think she's a Virgo is because in one of the scenes where Ruby entered the library and she started getting pretty big. She knows like a book fell off. It belongs to true crime. Like she put it in the right genre where it belongs. And that's definitely a sign of a Virgo. They tend to keep things organized. As for Libra, I think Ruby Gillman is a Libra, and the reason why I think that because he's always trying to keep the peace with everyone. I mean, throughout the entire film, he's always trying to get like Agatha to talk to Grandmama, to because she's to help out both her and her daughter Ruby. Libras are known to keeping the peace and trying to keep things balanced at all times. Also, he's also known for like helping a lot, and Libras are known to be pretty helpful with their loved ones. Just like that one scene when he makes Ruby feel better when he was under depression of being betrayed by Chelsea, aka Narissa. You know, her perspective of why Agatha, you know, left the ocean is because he chose a life with Ruby, so that, you know, that gave Ruby perspective and made her feel better. And, you know, Libras are very known, like I said, like they're very known to make you feel like, you know, balance. Their sign is a weight, so the weight is all about balance and try to keep the peace. So that's why I think Ruby Gillman is a Libra. As for Scorpio, it's most likely Bliss. The reason why I think Bliss is Scorpio because, you know, she tends to have like this dark vibe to her, and, you know, dark and mysterious vibe. You know, Scorpios are known to be kind of like, you know, have like a dark and mysterious energy or vibe to them. You know, she seems to be pretty like dark, but honestly, she's not like, doesn't mean that she's bad, but, you know, a lot of people might find that to be scary. But that's not the case. You know, Scorpios are very, you know, nice and lovable. You know, they actually are misunderstood. And Bliss comes out like kind of like a misunderstood, you know, person, but she's actually a, you know, pretty nice character. And also shows signs of like bravery, and, you know, Scorpios are known to be a very brave sign. Just like when the boat was tilting, you know, similar to like Titanic, and she went in front of like the boat and basically like, you know, accepting death, you know, like what everyone is like in fear of dying, and she's the only one that kind of like didn't have a fear of dying. So that's that, you know, like you know, she has like a lot of dark energy, but like also like it doesn't mean that she's bad. She just like misunderstood, and also, you know, she shows a lot of signs of bravery. So that's why I think she's a Scorpio. As for Sagittarius, I think it's Margot. You know, for a lot of reasons. You know, like Sagittarius are a very happy-go-lucky sign. They're the life of the party, and, you know, she shows a lot of signs of that. They're also like the funniest signs of the Zodiac sign. So, you know, she tend to be kind of like a class clown. You know, but she's always, you know. But back to where I said how they're like the life of the party. You know, like, just like when she tried to like get Ruby to go to prom and try to take her out of their comfort zone, you know, with her love with of Connor, you know, and then also, you know, trying to like, you know, make her go to prom because she's trying to like have the time of her life. You know, that's how Sagittarius are. They just want you to have fun. That's why I think she's a Sagittarius. You know, as for Capricorn, I couldn't think of a character who's of that sign, but just hear me out. I think Ruby is on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. Now, the reason why I say this is because in the beginning of the movie, in the opening scene where she's making the presentation, she mentioned that, you know, she liked to follow rules and that she really loved rules.
I know the rules. Our family is not allowed in the ocean ever for any reason. And I love rules. I do. I really, really do.
And the only sign that really, I wouldn't say like the only sign, but Capricorns are known to live under structure. They like, you know, to follow rules and, you know, to conform in those rules. And at first, Ruby was like that, you know, and plus Capricorns are known to be hard workers. And, you know, she does very good in her academics work, especially when it comes to math. That's obviously her favorite subject.
As a proud mathlete, I know that to find a potential solution, I have to evaluate the problem.
You're amazing at math.
I am the reason Connor's passing algebra.
On the other side, she shows a lot of traits of Aquarius, such as, you know, going to prom to protest, as she says, to like as a sign of protest, because she sees the prom as a negative thing.
Hey, didn't you say that prom was a
Post-colonial patriarchal construct. It is. But we would go as a group, as a form of protest.
But also, like, throughout the entire film, you know, she starts showing signs of rebellion, you know, like you know, like going against authority, which is her mom. And, you know, that's definitely a sign of Aquarius. You know, Aquarius are known to be kind of rebellious and going against, you know, social norms and conformity and against authority. They just known to like, you know, they're known for protesting, you know, because they're very humanitarian as well. Aquarius, you know, they're very humanitarian. So you know, Ruby tends to care a lot about her friends, and you know, will do anything for them, even if, you know, letting them go to prom, even if it means like they're not going with them. You know, that she wants them to have a good time. When she started feeling ostracized, that's when she started going against you know, the social norms and the rules of school. You know, such as, you know, ditching to hang out with Chelsea, and you know, fighting with her mom-in-law. You know, just going against authority. So I would say, you know, even though that she's, you know, on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius, which is a thing, you know, cup signs are a thing, even though a lot of astrologers don't really believe in that, but I kind of do, because she does have those two traits of Capricorn and Aquarius. But I will say that she leans more towards like Aquarius, you know, because she definitely shows more signs of Aquarius rather than the Capricorn. So I will say that, you know, her birthday is probably like somewhere in late January or mid-January, you know, like January like 22nd or 3rd, you know. So she leans, you know, towards more of the Aquarius side because of that. Lastly, we got the Pisces. Now, I think Connor is a Pisces because, you know, he's a very, you know, lovable person, and Pisces are known to be very lovable. You know, as soon as he skateboards through the hallway, he gives out, you know, a very dreamy vibe to Ruby. You know,
Really, really wanna get to know ya, Connor.
and the other thing about Pisces, you know, like they're the dreamers of the Zodiac sign, so they tend to sound out like a very dreamy vibe. And like I said, he's very lovable. You know, there's even like a scene where he looks depressed when he thinks that Ruby doesn't like him anymore. So, you know, that's why I think he's a Pisces, you know. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments what you think and who is your sign. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You all have a good one.